Welcome on board Gokone kwa Utana TV. Continue talking with us via 0706483140 or let's www.utanatv.co.ke, Facebook page Utana TV Kenya, or else you can SMS us or via our WhatsApp, the number of 0706483140. Then we'll get back your SMS. Due to technical issues, that's why we have decided to go with Madam.Vannesa and then later on with Mr.Colin. Not Corings, it is Corings, and then later on we join with Mr. Githinji. Due to that, I think we'll start with a brief introduction about the feeding, because you've started with the introduction of self-introduction. Now,
yes,
we go to the feeding. That is feeding future.
Yeah. Okay, so feeding futures, as I briefly started saying, started when Githinji and I became friends. So has come out of friendship and unity between an individual headmaster in the UK, in Kenya, and me in the UK. We believe God put us together, and He had an idea of what we would do. So we started. We knew that the children at Peterson's school, where he was head teacher, they were often hungry. There new IDPs in the area. Many people, new students who were in really struggling. So from our hearts, we wanted to feed hungry children, and that's where we started. So, having looked for some finance and trying to, trying to find the money from somewhere, we managed to build a kitchen at his school with 3 energy-saving stoves, cookers. We also built a store with a silo for grain so that we can buy in harvest season, and normalise the prices across the year. So that's where we started. We, after some 2 or 3 years, we realized actually, how are we helping these children, the parents, in the long run? Are we actually just creating dependency? And it's much more respectful to, instead of coming as donors, now we come as partners.
Now somebody will ask, who is the engine behind that feeding future?
I think the 3 of us are all there. We all have our different roles. Peterson has been, the last 3 years, we have not been able to come because of the virus. So it's great to be back and to see we communicate well through technology now. But I can't say one person is the personality behind Feeding Futures. It's all of us.
Probably, if you don't mind, you can give me a clear picture of Feeding Future in the next 5 or 10 years after.
Well, we have yet to see what God has in store for us. Our thoughts may not be the same as He has in mind. But what we would like to do is to start in a new school community every year. We don't want to rush. People can say some charities, some people are working in many schools, but because we're looking at helping every child in that school, not only the most needy, but to bring unity within the children and friendship, and stop any stigma. We feed every child, but even before we feed the children, we then need to have this partnership with the parents. So with the chief and local leaders, we together work in partnership So it takes time to build that and to make sure that when we leave after 4 years of feeding, and the parents have taken over the meals.
Somebody might come in and ask, what is this that drives in Vanessa, Githinji, and Mr. Collins to do good today, yesterday, today, and a day after tomorrow?
It has to
What
be
the
God.
drive, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, my story, even from when I was a small girl, I always had this heart for Africa, and I had various experiences, and I wasn't sure if that was really where God wanted me. But when we met, I met with Peterson, and that link formed and that friendship formed, and so we had the same vision. So it just felt like this is where we're going. This is how we can express our faith. We're given so much, each one of us. It may be money, it may be skills. What you're doing, you're presenting well, you're using the skills that you have. All of us have different skills. It might be childcare, helping children, teaching, could be anything. So it's really just what skills do we have, and just asking God to help us as we go through face each difficulty.
So far, so good. Somebody might also ask, or Leslie might ask somebody else, say that from a non-governmental organization, and say, our key pillars is discipline, our key pillars is ABCDs, our key pillars is X and X. What should be your key pillars?
Okay, so I guess we're looking at sustainability, and that is our model. Sustainability and partnership. It's bringing respect for all members of the partnership. So that's supporters in the UK, it's local leaders, it's chief, it's the parent, it's the child, and respecting every member as part of equal partners in this partnership. I think that's a key.
So far, so
That's
good.
key.
The achievement. Have you achieved what you
Yeah.
aspired to achieve so far?
So we, in our second school, which we're just finishing with now, and I say finishing, I mean waving as friends, and then we come back and visit, not leaving them abandoned, but leaving them strengthened. So we've seen amazing success in that last school, and the parents, we haven't provided any meals for a whole year, and yet the school meals is still continuing. The parents have loved it, adopted it. The school management have engaged. They now have a school shamba. They contribute time or their produce. So there's and actually beyond that, there's a lot greater unity within the community, and everybody has come together and done their part. So when we went to Mukanyai, we met some pastors. We knew that actually pastors are very important to bring the community together, and we found that actually they hadn't had an opportunity to meet together and share a cup of tea, share their vision, see how they can support their community as Christians together. And thankfully, on invitation, they loved coming together, and now they're thriving as a group, the pastors group, and now leading things in social change in that area.
Thank you very much. Because of time, thank you very much, Karaoke. Because of time, probably I may ask the few activities that you are doing to improve the livelihood of a common mwananchi or a common. Let me not call them common as they've been referred by politically, but the community. Let me call them community. What are you doing to improve the school performance, the community livelihood, and so forth.
Okay, so it's well documented that school meals improves performance at school, retention, enrollment, and achievement at school. So simply by providing school meals, we know that's happening. With the parents and the rest of the community, partly it's bringing them together again, as I've said. That is a big contribution. But we've trained the parents in conservation agriculture. So after we feed the children for 3 to 4 years, because it takes time for the land to heal once you start farming in a different way. And once you do that, the production increases. So we also train the farmers in record keeping and business skills, so they can see which things have worked, which things have not worked, and some other cross-cutting issues. Also, because we are using firewood at school, we've now come in with trees to replace the trees that we're using at school, and to go above and beyond and contribute towards helping to limit climate change.
Thank you, Vanessa. Because of the question of time, let's hand over the next topic about the planting of the tree and so forth and so forth to Mr. Collins. Because of the question, maybe you say bye bye.
Bye. Thank you very much for listening.
Asante, thank you. We are back with Mr. Collins because of the same topic. Asante. And welcome on board again. This is Utana TV 0706-846-140. Our SMS number and also WhatsApp number www.utanatv.co.ke, our website, and also you can go and watch us via Facebook page. That is Facebook page, that is Utana TV. Asanteni sana and karibu sana. We have Mr. Collins. How are you?
Very well, thank you very much.
Probably you can give us a clear picture, a little bit a clear picture of feeding future and also feeding future and Lisha Jamii, the collaboration.
Okay, so really Lisha Jamii is like the local feeding futures. So in the UK is where we raise the funds to bring to Kenya, so that Lisha Jamii then is able to do the work that Vanessa has been talking about. Lisha Jamii is just really the legal entity of Feeding Futures in Kenya. So that's the way that we work that.
And probably earlier before you said your profession was crop engineering, or you said then
yes,
from there
I started life as an agricultural engineer research, and then moved into the health service after that.
And what drives you from these from the agricultural engineering now to?
Well, it's a long story, but to keep it short, I was working as a research assistant and also training at college, and I got to the point where, because I was not very good at maths, I wasn't able to continue along the line that I was going. So physics requires lots of mathematics and higher level mathematics, and I was already volunteering as a Red Cross in the Red Cross in my spare time, and so somebody suggested that I go and train as a nurse, which is what I did.
Oh, wonderful. Now, United for Sustainable Change.
Yes.
Which change specific?
Well, the main thing that we're looking for is to lift the community out of above the level that they're at, So because of the situation that Vanessa was talking about, we realised that children was the main thing that we wanted to do. So hence, we wanted to feed the children, but also in feeding the children, then that is enabling those children as they grow up to be people in the future who are able to grow and understand and be educated. And then obviously in terms of the work that we're doing, the farming is very important. If we don't have food, well, we all need food, and farming is the way to get that. So one of the things that we understand, not just in Kenya but across the world, is that we have not done too well with our soil by poisoning it and so on and so forth. The main thing for us is therefore with conservation farming is to ensure that we heal that soil, and we use a number of principles of not ploughing or digging deep, because we ruin all the lovely stuff that we've got underneath the soil, all of the biodiversity that we have there. And it's really important that we maintain that. So we use mulching for the soil to over the top, which is a cover of the leftover plant materials. This enables the soil not to be eroded away by the rain, because actually that cover prevents a lot of erosion. It also prevents a lot of water evaporating, so it maintains the soil levels with good water. So we also think that it's important that plants are rotated, so that again it reduces the number of weeds that are growing there. It enables the pests and the pests and other diseases of plants, that reduces those things within those plants if you're rotating. So that's another good reason.
Probably you're working with the school communities and so
Yes.
forth and so forth, maybe to relieve the hunger and some other few missions.
That's right.
Do you have a future plans of either getting back to the same community and looking at what they are still doing?
Yes, very much so. So really important that when we start at a community, we gather information, and then as we go through we continue to gather the information. So in what Vanessa was saying, we collect information about the farmers, individuals, and also then we can gather that information together as a whole, and then we would be looking at that information throughout the time we're there, and then at the end, and then after we have seen that the community is being independent and able to provide that food for the children, then we will continue to collect information over a number of years to enable us to see just exactly what impact it has had on those communities, because that's what we want to see, is those communities really being lifted, because some of the rural areas there's a lot of poverty, and to know that sometimes because of the work we're doing, that children not only are not being ill, they're actually learning more, going to university, and that's important for the future for that community.
Somebody called Jane Wang Mondia is saying foreign cruisery all the way from Viria. She is a designer, so probably on your way you may go and Shona Kitenge, African. Now let's get back. Somebody might hear. Let me ask this one as a personal question. Like somebody might hear Collins in Vanessa all the way from UK. Then we might be having a little understanding of UK is a well up either nation or economically. Is giving an inbuild or giving it a state of economy?
Sorry, could you repeat that? Quite.
Yeah, it's a personal question that I'm asking. Is giving out, is giving an inbuild, or is something that you give from the economical status?
I think it's from the inside, because there are lots of people with high status that don't give. In our church where we are based, lots of people do give us money on a regular basis. Some of those people are very low level income. Lots of retired people who are just basically on a very low income, and yet they see the work that we're doing and give a lot. I don't know whether people will know of the widow's mite, how she gets the very small coin, and it's so important to her, but she gives it. And I think there are others then that have more wealth and they might give, but not everybody with wealth does. We wish they did, because then we would be able to do lots more work.
The idea of building a modern kitchen or learning infrastructure in a certain school, how does it connect with feeding?
Well, to be able to give the children cooked meals, there needs to be a facility to do that, and that's why originally the kitchens were built, and the new kitchen at Sidai is absolutely amazing. We've looked at it, we've been there, and we're looking forward to it opening next week. And the main thing is that we believe in providing good standard. Whatever we do, it should be good standard. We like to do things that are quality. So sometimes it does take time to raise sufficient money to do that. But it's one of our sort of main issues. We like to ensure that we provide good quality things. We try to avoid any waste as well. That's another issue for us. So in everything we do, we try to ensure that we do that. That applies in running the charity. It includes the way that we teach the farming, because all of the, so much stuff is wasted. We don't like to see burning of the thing. You see these fields of stuff that gets burned. We say, no, we can use that to help mulch the ground, for instance. So we have those sorts of values.
Just because of the time, maybe I may ask you the last two questions so that you can also get the view of Mr. Githinji and so forth. About the Mr.Colin's, Madam.Vannesa and also Mr. Githinji are doing A and B. What is expected from the community?
We very much want people to work in partnership with them, and this is why our programme is such that we start in the first year providing all of the food for the children, and over the period of years we start to decrease what we're giving as the community takes over. So as an example, we provide the lunches, dinners, lunches,
Lunch, yeah.
for all the children. And then in the second year, the breakfasts are provided by the school community. And then in the third year, we start to then gradually change the amount of food that we provide, because the community then comes in and starts to provide it. So that by the end of working with that community, in terms of us being present there with them, they are providing all of the facility.
Maybe your last one to the communities and also to those people whom you are supporting, and also the well-wishers. Who would we wish to give? Maybe your last words as we finalize.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Yes, well, thank you very much for listening. It's been great to be able to share our vision with you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You'll still stay there as we continue on. Thank you very much. Nĩngatho mũno makĩria twakorwo tũgĩcokereria na mwena ũrĩa ũngĩ wa kĩrĩa gĩtwa Facebook mũndũ gwĩtwo Kariuki Wang'ang'a nĩ ũkorwo hihi ũkĩrora nĩgetha hihi ũkorwo ũkĩnengereria mũndũ gwĩtwo Mr. Githinji tũkorwo tũkĩrĩkanĩra nake mwena ũrĩa ũngĩ. Thiĩ na mbere gũkorwo hihi ũgĩtũrũmĩra kũgerera kũrĩa kwa www.utanatv.co.ke na nĩ gũkorwo hihi ũgĩtwamũkĩra ĩmwe kũrĩa ĩmwe kũndũ gwĩtwo Facebook page-inĩ itũ nĩ Utana TV Kenya. Mũndũ makorwo maikarĩte wega, namba itũ ya SMS kana namba itũ ya WhatsApp nĩ 0706-483-140. nĩ gũkorwo hihi ũgĩtwamũkĩra ĩmwe kwa ĩmwe na maũndũ megũkorwo maikarĩte wega. Tũrarĩria ũhoro wĩgaine na kĩndũ gĩgĩtwo kũheana, tũrarĩria ũhoro wa kĩndũ gĩgĩtwo kũheana kuma ngoro-inĩ, giving out all the way, giving out what you have. And you've heard very well from Mr. Colin. I heard it's not Mr. Collins but Mr. Collins. Mr. Githinji said it's popular. I don't know whether it's popular or not, but all in all, it's that giving, as you've heard from Mr. Collins, is that giving is an inbuilt thing. It's not, you don't give because of economical status, or less, you don't give because you have a lot of things to give out, but it's just because of it's something that you've grown in with. Thank you very much. Somebody like Jane Wang, asante sana for ring that other one. Somebody like Maggie Wangoi, Thank you very much. It's a Kikuyu message more than a Githogo. She's saying today we've transferred from Kikuyu to English. Somebody called Kathanyuriawari for you all the way from Orkarao. Orkarao is in Nyandarua County. Saying present sana kama kawaida as usual. Somebody is Mike. Good morning, tuned in all the way from Tangitano. Tangitano is Kiambogo, across that area. Somebody called Murimi wa Mushakude. Murimi wa Mushakude is all the way from Mwea. Mwea is in yeah, Mwea. I think is Mwea. Thank you very much Nigatha. Ndachokelea dakika itali kuraya, dakika tukoro tukishokelea na mudogo wetu Mr. Githinji, dakika itali kuraya.
Utana TV. Utana ni mituki. Ũngĩkorwo wĩna mawoni kana mateta, tuhũrĩre thimũ nĩyo 0797 861 372 kana twandĩkĩre email kũrĩ feedback@utanatv.co.ke ona kana complaints@utanatv.co.ke.
Welcome on board Utana TV 0706 843 Facebook page Utana TV, another way that is www.utanatv.co.ke. We are almost done. It's fabulous. I'm having some of this discussion. I think we need several discussion like this and such that people can know what is giving. Do you give because we have them? Do you give because we are forced to give, or we give to care? That's all. Mr. Githinji.
Thank you.
Karibu.
Asante. Mwiroreri wa Utana TV. Tenda kuga ndiaria na Gikuyu. Turi Githungu kiingi muno. Thini wa wira uria turaruta mundu ngi no eciria ati ni gutonga turi atongu kana aria turaruta wira nao ni atongu muno, no ni kwirutira kwa ngoro na mawira mangi maritu marutaga kinya hĩndĩ ĩmwe marutagĩra family ciao gũthiĩ gũthambia ngari, mathambie ngari nĩgetha maheo mbeca cia gũka gũteithia mũkenya wĩna thĩna nĩgetha agĩe na ũtũũro wĩna gĩtĩo. Decent living is what we are looking for, and we are looking at raising somebody to a standard of respect, worth living.
Risha jamii and feeding future. A clear picture in Nakuru currently.
Yes, as it was pointed out by both Colin and Vanessa, Lisha Jamii is a legal entity in Kenya to create a branch of Feeding Futures. Feeding Futures is actually our mother charity, and is the blood name that we live with. So they are one and the same, only that one is registered in Kenya, but the mother and the blood name is Feeding Futures, the charity registered in United Kingdom. Yes.
Any challenges you go through either when you're trying to look for the finance, and you're trying to look for all the support, either financially or whichever?
Yes, that's true. That's there are challenges like. In UK, just like any other country, there is the effect of corona, and so there was a break of production and business. Everything went down. So many people who would have been very supportive have no means, or their means reduced, and so they have withdrawn. And so we are looking forward to any other person who is looking, even Kenyans. In fact,
I was almost to ask that whether a Kenyan can
yes,
also join the
yes,
movement.
yes, we'll say that even Kiswahili would say kutoa ni moyo, usabe ni utajiri.
Yeah.
We are giving out not because we have, just because we have good heart for somebody who is suffering and somebody who is needy. So every person in Kenya, wherever, can give and can channel that assistance through us, because we have a model that has worked and model that is tested, and we are open, and our books are clear, and we are audited, such that we are doing things very professionally, so somebody can trust us to take that assistance to the right person, those people. And especially you'll see, like we have a bias. We work with the rural community who are not reached by many people, and we look at a place where nobody reaches. For example, we went tomorrow, very deep interior place, where many people, many donors have not reached. Even now, where we have gone to Subukia, we have gone to a very interior place where not many people are exposed to the problems people face there. So we are reaching people who have not been reached. Yes.
How do you feel like Feeding Future when people's like politicians are coming in and criticizing the issue of I do A, B, C, D to those needed communities, and then later on after a while they just disappear, and then just to reappear again after the 5 years, or after the period of 5 years?
Oh, well, we are accountable to God. They are accountable to their pockets. That makes the difference. That they are looking for a job. We are not looking for a job. We are looking for how we can feel fulfilled out of giving, out of supporting and changing, causing a little change in a child, in a family, in a community. So that's maybe how we cannot compare with a politician. Though we are friendly with politicians, because we always, and as it has been stated by the two who have been ahead of me, we do a lot of community mobilization before starting anything, and we invest in that, so that anything we are doing with the community. No competition with anybody, not even the government departments which are supposed to be working in places. Sometimes they lack resources. That's why maybe they are not achieving their goals. So we work together. We collaborate with even the politicians. We collaborate with the government officials or departments, and any other person, and mainly even the church. Wherever we go, we have to bring together the church, the church people, clergy, because they are also very influential within their community. And every church, most children in Kenya go to church. Parents go to church. So all of us go to church. And if we don't bring together the church people, then there could be some we would be slowed down by misconceptions. So to break those misconceptions, we bring together the community before we start anything. We get to understanding, and even we reach a point where we are writing a memorandum of understanding, so that they know their part, then they know our part, so that guided by those principles in the agreement, then we move together when every person knows his or her part within the partnership. Yes.
Just because of the interest of time, maybe I may ask this briefly: the relationship or the flow of the relationship between the national government, the county government, also the NGOs.
Well, I will say this. I will say NGOs, if they would be understood clearly by the government, and if they would spell out their objectives and their vision to the government, then the government would be in a position to guide and to support whenever they need support. An organization like ours, the charity, we are trying as much as possible to make our vision, our mission, and all goals understood by the county government and even national government. Because if every other person knew what the other one is doing, then we'd come in support each other wherever need be. Yes.
Allow me to ask you 2 or 3 more questions because of the interest of time, because
Right.
it is close to more an extra 10 minutes that I was asking for. Now about the transition of food. Somebody will go to your website and see that you are doing this program for a period of 3 years, then you are leaving that, or less a period of 4 to 5 years, and then you are leaving from that to different schools. How is that transition?
Well, it has been very good it has been stated in a school called Mukinyai Primary and that community, because they embraced the partnership. Once somebody embraces partnership, then we are developing them, we are monitoring them and mentoring them at the same time, such that even when it is their part, their time to take to do a thing, if we see them falling down, we are supporting them, and we go like that up to the last year. And then as we are monitoring them, we are also looking at the production of the land, because we are interested in changing life, general life, holistically. We move with the community. Yes.
One thing I loved about you is something that I would like you to explain to my viewers, that there is planting a tree and there is nurturing a tree.
Yes, yes, that's very important for people to understand that there is planting of tree, which is an event, and there is growing of a tree. So our interest is to grow the tree, not plant just a tree, because you can plant a tree today, you leave it, and the goats will eat it, or anything can damage it, and we won't have a tree tomorrow. So that's the reason why we are saying, when we plant trees, and we have even our model of a distribution. It's important you have reminded me that our model is very specific, very clear, and very beautiful, that we want a child in every school that we are attached to adopt a tree, one at school, the other one at home, nurture that tree as we are together. If we say 5 years we are together, within 5 years we shall see a lot of change in homes, in school, when children will be very proud identifying with a tree at home and a tree at school. Yes.
Are you people investing? So sorry. Are you people investing? Probably you'll switch it off a little bit because of the. Thank you very much, Asante. Are you people investing in the act of the aspect of giving, such because you've given? Do you also want this community to be empowered to an extent that tomorrow, 10 years later, they will still have that aspect? You can hold it because we are almost finishing. Are you still investing? Are you still investing in that act of giving? Because you are giving. Are you investing to these kids, the community? Are you empowering the community to give tomorrow, 5 or 10 years to come?
Thank you. When we looked at the future, the children are the future of the country. That's why we are trying to invest so much in children. That's why we are even in 4K club in schools, because there are children who might not have that opportunity of going to secondary school, or might not continue with education, but they will go home and become parents and become members of the community. So thinking of creating a job, creating awareness of doing farming in an organized way, in a productive way, then it is our thought that we want to do to prepare children towards future, and preparing the community for a better future. That's why we would invest in training, farming, training also, and supporting livestock, so that we are creating an income stream in every home wherever we are working with the community. So thinking of even that education of our school, thinking of improving the standards, improving the grades in children, it's thinking about a better citizen of tomorrow, who I think empowered through our activities, our feeding. We are expecting, and we have seen the results, that we receive many children who benefited from us, who have graduated, and they're in good jobs. And anytime like now, you find them in Facebook, talking very proudly of the investment we did, so that tomorrow they can also give. So we are giving and making other people give us. We would wish so many people to come in and do it the way we are doing it, and they take us as a model. because it's a model that has worked and is working. Yes.
So in short, you are modeling somebody called Githinji somewhere in one of the schools. You are modeling somebody like Vanessa. You are modeling someone like Croc.
Yeah, we'd love that so much that many people will emulate us, and in future we have so many feeding futures in every village, doing it the way we are doing it, and doing it even better than us. Yes.
What is this that you feel it is so much special from any other NGOs outside there? Either the mode of doing things, the strategy of doing things, or something that you would like either the county government, the national government to emulate from you?
Well, we would say a few things here. Like number one, we have said we want to grow trees, not plant trees. Number two, we also want to think like if you want to give the community, don't go segregating children and separating children and traumatizing some children because they are poor, feeding a few who are poor and giving some clothes when the others are watching. That is like building your name by downtreading on the poor, and it leads even to more stigma to the children when the others are looking at them like needy, helpless, and hopeless. So that's the reason why our model is covering every child in a school, so that we bring equity and equality and love and care for each other because of that oneness and the love that I can protect you, I can feed you. When you miss a pencil, I can share my pencil because we are the same. Yes.
Maybe you are called to the friends from UK, USA, and others, and also from Africa, and more so saying in Kenya as you finalize.
Yes, I would call upon every person who is watching us, listening to us, to come in, support us, and donate. Donate as much as you can, as God can allow you, so that we pull together our resources in this noble call and exercise as we implement this vision, this great vision we are having for our children in Kenya.
Thank you very much, Dennis Lehaboth, all the way from Egerton, Joro, saying foreign good teaching this morning. Hata kama kizungu si mdomo changu. Thank you very much. At least, Dennis Lehaboth, you can get 1, 2, 3 things from Mr. Githinji, from Mr.Colin, and also from Madam.Vannesa. And thank you very much, you guys, for making up for this show. I'm also proud of you.
Thank you very much. Utana TV.
Yeah.
Utana TV. Utana nimetoke.
Thank you very much. Ni gatho muno makiria we watu rora kule kwa Facebook Utana TV na gacokia gatho muno makiria watu rora kule kwa alumira lumiligu kule kwa 0706 483140. Asanteni sana. Thank you very much. Muru gwitu Reverend Teacher Triza Ehan gatho mukoro hi mukereri horo wa kirugi gwitu tarani gacokia gatho muno makiria ginyagia muthenya wa rucio nigo tugakorwo hi tukiona na haha gikorora maria mekirirwo muno makiria thini wa kirugi gwitu gathitine citu ginyagia na haguro tidia wega. Good morning. Thank you. Bye bye.
Utana TV. Utana nimetoke. Ũngĩkorwo wĩna mawoni kana mateta, tuhũrĩre thimũ-inĩ 0797 861 372 kana ũtwandĩkĩre email kũrĩ feedback@utanatv.co.ke ona kana complaints@utanatv.co.ke. Ciĩkwĩhanda thinacara cia rũcinĩ mwambĩrĩrio nginya wa gatano. Cemania na The Indomitables makũmenyithia ũrĩa bũrũri ũhana, mohoro ma ngũĩ-inĩ, makũhũngĩra magathĩti, makũmenyithia ũrĩa bũrũri ũrĩ kĩũteti, utongoria, wonjoria, ugima wa mwiri, urimi na biashara. Nyitanira na Kariuki wa Ng'ang'a hamwe